Hey guys, so today's video, I am starting off with my full face of foundation, all my complexion, my brows, everything done because today is eyeshadow focused. And the eyeshadows we'll be using today are the brand new Makeup Geek rebranded shadows. They have a whole new set of eyeshadows. They have a ton of new colors and an entire new system when it comes to these eyeshadows. This is not sponsored. It sure sounds like I am, and like these are talking points for a brand. They were sent to me in PR. However, I am under no obligation to speak about these. I just love Makeup Geek, always have, and I wanted to show you guys these because I received them in the mail and they are so beautiful. They are so perfect. I feel like they launched at the perfect time. They are gorgeous colors, gorgeous color schemes, totally wearable, totally beautiful. And I just want to show you guys what they came out with and create an eye look with it. Now, the thing is that there are tons of different shades that they launched. So I'm not going to be able to use everything today. I will be able to create an eye look, but I definitely will be doing more in the future because these are beautiful and I love Makeup Geek shadows. So these are the shades that launched. These are the new Makeup Geek rebrand. A lot of people didn't really know what to expect when it came to the rebrand. Like, what were we getting? Just eyeshadows? Were we getting new palettes? What were we getting? But I think the way that they did it is great. So Makeup Geek has their own magnetic palettes. These are some of the shades. These are the neutrals, and I love the way that they organized these in the magnetic palette to where they're like monochrome color sections to where you can create an eye look or you can mix and match fully. This is exactly how if I was coming out with a palette with this many shades, would lay these out. Sometimes I'm weird about palette layouts, and this is, for this many shades, exactly what I would do. I love that they did these little monochrome sections here. They are absolutely stunning. I feel like these colors are all so wearable, so useful. And then we've got the colorful, which looks like this. It is so stunning. I love it. You can see I already swatched a couple of them. Sorry about that. But it is just so beautiful. I love the shades. These look a little more lime on camera, but in person they are a lot more like an olive army green. And I love the colorful shades as well. Each of these palettes, if you want to buy them, you can do that. The mega set, if you get both of these, so if you get the neutral and the colorful, is $219.99. Super expensive, but for that price you would get 56 eyeshadows and the magnetic palettes as well. If you want to get them each individually, it's $124.99 per palette. Very expensive again still. That's the thing about single eyeshadows. So when Makeup Geek first came out a long time ago, people were like, oh my god, they're so cheap, they're the cheapest eyeshadows. And they were like $5 a piece or something like that. I don't know that they were the cheapest eyeshadows, but at the time there wasn't a ton of options. There was MAC single shadows and then there was Makeup Geek. But now, since then, tons of different inexpensive eyeshadows have launched, like Morphe, and like BH Cosmetics has been around, but everyone's more aware of them now. And then we've got ColourPop. So in the realm of eyeshadow pricing, I don't know what I was saying because I just got a phone call, so hopefully I'm taking up where I left off, but they're definitely more expensive than a lot of shadows that exist now. However, Makeup Geek shadows are just lovely. If these are the same formula or very similar formula to what has launched previously, they're very buildable, very easy to blend out. They've got great pigmentation. They're honestly some of my favorite shadows I've ever used. I've always been a huge lover of Makeup Geek. You guys know that they were probably if you've been following for a long time, like the last 8 years I've had my channel, I have been using Makeup Geek for that long. I love their shadows so much. I did a huge Makeup Geek order when I first got into makeup, and I still have those shadows today. I love their single eyeshadows. I think they're wonderful. So this system is called like the Matrix eyeshadow system, and I'm not exactly sure how it works yet fully. You can mix and match different shadows. They come with a bunch of preloaded palettes if you want to buy those as well. They're in quads. You can also buy these sets. You could buy individual shadows. You don't have to buy these palettes. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, and it's kind of like customizing your own eyeshadow palette, you know.
So I've created a new, it's called a matrix system, and basically what that is it covers the entire spectrum of colors. It ranges not only from light to deep, but also different tones. So you have your red browns, your cool browns, your grays, any sort of tone that you love. I will provide you that in those rows, but it'll also be from light to deep. So you have like a light tan ranging down to a rich deep brown. So you can create literally hundreds of palettes, you guys, by using the same shades and reconfiguring them to tell a different story. So instead of you buying 10 different palettes where you guys know that half of those palettes are gonna have your beige, it's gonna have a black, a dark brown, they're gonna have so many similar shades, instead of spending that same money over and over again getting all these different palettes, let's be smart about beauty and take what you have and reconfigure it to create a completely different color story. So you can do a mini palette where it's just 4 colors, and that's something you could throw in your purse, take it with you for traveling. Or you have the 9 Wells, which are a little bit more colors. It's a traditional palette where you have lots of options for colors, but it's still a core group of stuff that you love every day. We have the mega palettes, and that's for 28 eyeshadows. Any combinations that you want. You could do all colors, all neutrals, combinations of both. In that 28 well, the cool thing is we have life palettes, and what life palettes are is it's any powder makeup possible. So you have face powders, your bronzers, contours, highlights, blushes, pressed face powders, anything that's in a powder form configures with the eyeshadows together. So basically 4 eyeshadow pans are going to fit into one face pan. So you can have a mega palette that has 28 shadows, or it can have 12 with 4 face products in there as well. So you literally can configure this and customize it any way that you guys want.
You know, at the end of the day, that's what single shadows are, and that's why they were so popular for the longest time. And then it sort of fell out of popularity into preset eyeshadow palettes. But really, if you're somebody that like, if there are specific colors that you do and do not use, this is the way to go. Like if you're somebody that's like, I only use warm tones, or I only use like kind of mustardy shades, you can create your perfect palette with these. And that's kind of the beauty of single shadows. Today we are going to our other house to demolish a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what I look like. I want to literally use every single one of these shades. It's going to be very difficult for me to pick a color combo for today's video. But you know what? Again, stay tuned. I'll be doing more tutorials with these coming up. I'm very excited for Makeup Geek. I'm so excited for Marlena. I'm so happy that Makeup Geek Rebrand is finally here. Marlena talked about this in a video, but there were a lot of issues with a production when it came to a specific lab that they were working with, and the quality just wasn't up to her standards. And so a lot of their launches over the last couple of years have been halted due to having to stop production with that crummy lab and then find new labs. And so there were supposed to be a ton of things launching over the last few years, because a lot of people like to say, you know, whatever happened to Makeup Geek? But honestly, from what I understand, it was all just an very incredibly unfortunate series of events with this crappy lab. And so instead of putting out crappy product, Marlena decided to throw away, first of all, I would imagine millions of dollars worth of product that wasn't up to Makeup Geek's quality standards. But then that made it seem like Makeup Geek was just gone because they weren't launching anything new. When they did launch a collection, it was the In the Nude collection. I actually did review it. I will link it up here. And I didn't give it a very good review because I just said it was too expensive for what you were getting. You're getting like 9 pans of eyeshadows, and they were like, it was like $50 something, I think. And I kind of gave it a negative review. I actually do like the In the Nude palette. I think it's a very beautiful palette, and it reminds me very similarly of like Going Coconuts that just launched, which I gave a really positive review to from ColourPop. The difference then when I reviewed In the Nude to ColourPop now is just merely the price point. ColourPop's palettes are like $15 versus that Makeup Geek one was like $50. You guys are gonna see Editing Kristi popping in and out a lot through this video because after I filmed it, God, I look like an 80s hairband singer. As I was filming this, Marlena hadn't put out her video yet, and I didn't fully understand the matrix system yet, but now I do because I've seen her video, and it makes so much sense, and I think it's such a good idea. You guys are just gonna have to deal with this. I don't wanna hear about it. And I did wanna mention that the 9-pan palettes are $32.99, so they are less than they used to be. The 4-pan palettes are $14.99. The palette alone is $19.99, so not including any shadows. 80s hairband Kristi is going away now. Goodbye. The thing is about that is kind of since that time frame, with In the Nude, we've seen not much from Makeup Geek, and people were wondering like, are you gone? What's going on? They did enter Target, which is pretty exciting. So Makeup Geek is in Target now. I think there's only select Target stores. I'm not 100% sure, but I am really glad to see them back, see them coming out with new launches. I like the rebrand. I think it's very beautiful and classy, and I feel like it's the perfect time to launch this was now. It makes the most sense for me. I feel like we've had a little bit of slowdown after the holidays, and Makeup Geek to come out right now with what a lot of people are sort of wearing at the moment. Neutrals are back in, and these colors are very wearable colors as well. I think it's kind of perfect. So there were also 6 pairs of lashes that I received with Rebrand. This is Graceful, Elegant, Fearless, These are the 3D faux mink lashes, and I'll open these up so you guys can see them. This is Nicole, Ava, and Isabella. So those are the lashes right there. I don't know which one I'm gonna wear today. And that is Makeup Geek Rebrand. I don't know what color to wear today. What am I feeling? Just, off of my first gut feeling. This row, which you guys know I love those shades. Or this row, I'm kind of feeling this. All three of these are really speaking to me. These are gorgeous, but I don't feel like I want to do a blue eye look necessarily today. There are a ton of new shades and some old shades. Cocoa Bear got renamed to Cheetah Bear, which is perfect. I believe it's this shade right here, which was a cult favorite. Everybody loved it. This row just is speaking to me. It's so, so beautiful. So I think I'm gonna go into this row for today's look. God, this literally sounds sponsored. It is not sponsored, I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna have the links for everything down in the description. Also, I do have a code with Makeup Geek. You do not have to use it, but if you want to. I was just informed by Makeup Geek that my code is Raw Beauty Kristi, not Kristi. I'm not a code pusher. I really hesitate to ever speak about them. And the reason that you don't know that I have a Makeup Geek code is because I've never really talked about it. I've had this code for like 3-4 years, I don't know. And I don't talk about codes because I never want it to feel or come off pushy. I have ColourPop codes. I have codes. I just don't ever mention them because even though, I don't know, even though it doesn't cost you any more and you actually save, I feel guilty about it because it is an affiliate code. So if you guys do use it, I get a portion of the sales as like an affiliate kickback. So just to be fully transparent. So let's zoom you guys in and let's do this eye look. Some of you guys are probably watching this and you're like, yo, use more different shades. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'll use shades from both of these sort of rows right here, but I don't know. It's so hard. So I'm gonna start off with a fluffy blending brush. This is the Makeup Addiction Expert Blender, and I think I'm gonna dip into this shade here. I also love that the pans changed. Okay, that's Tuscan Sun. I love that the pans changed as well from round to this shape. They fit so much better into this palette, and it's just so much more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm gonna go into this shade first. This is Tuscan Sun. This is not a new shade from Makeup Geek, from what I understand. This is an existing shade. But as you can see, Makeup Geek shadows go on really soft and light, and they have the ability to be built up, which is my preferred eyeshadow. Some people love to put them on straight pigment. Certain eye looks I like to do that with, but I really love the ability to build as well. So I'm kind of focusing that on this portion of my eye right here, kind of into my brow bone area right here. Okay, now that shade is sort of more of like a warm toned, I guess compared to how it looks in the pan, it looks like it's gonna be like a soft pinky here, but when I'm in person, it sort of looks more of like a creamy orangey pink. So I'm gonna go into this one below it. I have a feeling that's the shade Cupcake, just off the top of my head. Maybe I'm wrong. Pinky promise. I was wrong. I'm taking this on my Morphe M506 brush. Just gonna dip into this shade here. Sort of taking that on the center of the eye, blending it into the crease right here and then down at an angle. This one's more pink than it is that warm, but these colors are really pretty together. Very similar. I guess they're not though. Like they almost look similar in the pan, but they don't look super similar on the eyes. I'm gonna take the shade right beneath that, and that's this one right down here, and this one is Berry Shady. I think I'm gonna fluff that one on first. I'm not gonna pack it on super heavily. I'm just gonna take a bit of that. Pat it on where I want it the heaviest. My outer corner there. Take a bit of that first shade and just sort of softly buff out that edge. This one packs a lot of punch, look at that. See what I mean when I say they just blend so seamlessly? There's just something magical about this formula. I love it. Oh my God, it wasn't recording. It wasn't recording during any of that. That is so unfortunate. I'll show you guys what I did. How irritating is this fucking camera? So basically what I just did that my stupid camera wasn't recording is this shade and this shade. I took them right here and I just patted them all over my eyelid. That's all I did. I will show you what I did. By the way, those shades are the lighter of the two purples was, that's Wine and Dine and Eternally Grapeful. Okay, that's cute. But I basically just took them and I patted them all over my lid like this with my smaller brush on both sides. Pat, pat, pat. I took it out a little bit. Just patted it kind of up to the crease, and then I took that brush, my blending brush again, and patted it right over that. Because I'm gonna do something. I think I did this in one of my last Makeup Geek videos, which was a long time ago. It was on the Power Pigments that they released. I'm gonna do a very similar eye shape to that right now. I'm just feeling it. These blend so good. I'm so sorry that cut out. How absolutely irritating is that? So there was also a bit of fallout from these, but it did wipe away really easily with my little duo fiber brush. This is from Sigma. It's the duo fiber powder blush brush, the F15. This is what I used to put on my bronzer today too. Okay, so this is the eye shape that I did again in my last Makeup Geek video. I'm gonna take a little bit of the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 02, which is like this very light shade right here. And I'm taking my Sigma Cream Color Brush. This is the E58, and I'm going to create a negative space wing liner. I won't be able to talk during this. All right, now to the other side. I don't breathe during that. So interesting because on my monitor right here, it looks like I'm wearing like a rust colored eyeshadow. I wonder if it'll show up correctly in editing. It probably will, it usually does, but this is totally like a beautiful purpley color. Yeah, it's like a soft, beautiful purple. So I think over the top of that liner, at least part of it, I wanna use some of this shade. This is the shade Whimsical, and it's a foiled shadow, I believe, yeah. I think the foil's got a new formula, if I'm understanding correctly. Well, this is my Sigma small eyeliner brush. It's not quite small enough for me. Oh, I'm glad I did that. That looks nice. Instead of it just looking like concealer. Wow, these are really creamy. I usually would wait till I have my top lashes on before I would finish up like my bottom lashes, but I think I want to go in for my bottom lashes on this one right now. And I think for that, I'm going to use that same little brush right here, the Morphe one. And should I do a different color? Purple. I wish you could see in person just how blended this looks. Blue, maybe? I said I wasn't gonna do blue, but now I feel like I wanna go in with these shades right here. So I think I'm gonna go with this one, which is the shade Seize the Day, S-E-A-S, the Day. Precious. I think because this is purple, I don't know, I just feel like that blue would be really beautiful, kind of blended underneath my lash line. Take the shade right above that and kind of pat it over. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the lighter purple shade and kind of take it right underneath that blue so that it adds a little bit of cohesion. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that foiled shade right here. I love a good shimmery lower lash line. It's probably hard to tell on camera. I know I'm bringing that down kind of low, but I just think it's gonna look so pretty when the lashes are on. And I'm gonna put a purple liner on my inner rim right here. And then I'm going to really coat my bottom lashes. Okay, so now I think it's time for a purple eyeliner. I've got a lot of choices. I don't know what to choose. Yes, I do. This is the Makeup Geek purple eyeliner, and that's what it's called, purple eyeliner. And they rebranded these a while back to be retractable, which I love. I freaking love Makeup Geek full spectrum eyeliners. I don't know if they're still called full spectrum. They were. I don't think they are. They're just eyeliners now, but they are so creamy, glidey good. I love them. I love them. I love them. Okay, this is a little intense, but what I'm going to do is I am going to throw some lashes on and some mascara. We'll come back and see if this pulls together. If it does not, we shall fix it. Okay, so lashes are on, and I think the look is fine, but it's not what I was going for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dip into this shade from the neutral palette, and this is So Pale. So Pale. And I'm gonna take that and I'm going to kind of pat it over the top of this to make those more like milky, like almost like a light blue color. Shades are incredibly pigmented to where it's definitely working to lighten it quite a bit. You just gotta figure out what you're not liking about it and try to correct that if possible. Like for me, I just felt like it was a tad bit too dark and it was just kind of dragging my face down a little bit. So just lighten up where you can. I hope it pulls off on camera how it's looking in person. It looks really pretty in person. And on camera, it might look a little bit too intense, but you know, it's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a little inner corner situation, and I think for that I'm gonna do the same shade again right here. I'm also gonna put a little bit of a matte color right over top of that so that it has that like shimmery base, but it almost gives it less of that like foiled look and more of just like a brightness on the inner corner. I'm gonna take a little bit of that too and just run it right up here. All right. I wish that you could see this in person because I can see on my monitor that it just doesn't look the same. But this is the finished look. It's not my best look I've ever done, but this is it. I actually really think in person it's so beautiful. It's very, very soft, like kind of a warm purple shade. And these shades were incredibly easy to work with. And I really, really enjoy these shades quite a bit. I have a feeling I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this palette specifically. I went in with more of the colors today because I figured you guys would want to see a colorful look. Because my last few ones have been really neutral, but I love this. I think it's so pretty. I think these shades are incredibly easy to work with. They blend out like a dream. There is no patchiness, tugging. There's no like skipping. It's just like, it just does. It just does. And I love the way these perform. So do I recommend them? I have always recommended Makeup Geek shadows. They are through and through so good. Yes, they are more expensive, but they're really, really high quality. So if you're looking for something, if you're a makeup artist and you have very specific colors that you need in your kit, this is one of the main eyeshadows that I actually did use in my kit because traveling with a whole bunch of different eyeshadows so that I can get a few out of each palette was not what I loved to do. But having this would really be great. And I love that you can fit so many eyeshadows in such a small palette. The palette itself isn't like super duper tiny, but it is very quality. It's plastic, which I don't love, but in the long run of keeping this forever and just refilling it as you need, it's a very sturdy, strong palette. And it is very beautiful as well because it is just like straight, clear. You can see straight through it. Like Z palette back in the day, you guys know Z palette, they canceled themselves big time. Theirs would always get really milky. The front of them would. It would get really scratched and milky looking and covered and stuff. And I haven't had my Makeup Geek palettes do that at all. So overall, I think they're lovely. These are the lashes from the line. These are called Graceful. I like them. I do feel like they're not my like ideal lash, but they are very beautiful. I wanted something a little more winged out for this look, and I feel like this gave it. And I really like it. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for the Makeup Geek eyeshadows? How do you feel now that they are back? How do you feel about the rebrand? I like it. It's exactly what I was hoping that they would do. I wasn't sure what the rebrand would look like, but I like it. It's not overly complicated. It's simple. I love the way that they set up the color schemes. I love the eyeshadows that they chose. They're very wearable selections in each of their color categories. And I'm back. I also wanted to say that because I hadn't known about the whole mix and match system the way that I do now, I love the sustainability factor of it. I love the fact that it's encouraging people to use the makeup they have and create their own palettes out of these existing shades, which is really in essence what single shadows have always been about. But I'm glad to see that these are back, but in a really user-friendly way and a lot more affordable than Makeup Geek used to be. These palettes would have generally been like $50 something and now they're like $30, so it's way more affordable. And I like that you can find the colors that you personally will like. You can create different palettes and little quads if you just want something on the go. So I quite like that. That's all I can say about that. I don't have a ton of critique other than I wish the price was lower, but these are made in the USA. They are cruelty-free. And I think that in situations like that, you're gonna pay a prettier penny than you are for, you know, makeup that's generally like made overseas or in China, because these are USA manufactured. They are more expensive per eyeshadow. So that's just something to keep in mind. They are lovely though, and I feel like the formula could not be better. Makeup Geek, congratulations on the rebrand. Marlena, you killed it. I definitely would recommend to to at least try a couple of them. Again, you can buy them individually or you can buy them in the palette. There's a lot of different ways. I love the new colors, and I think that the colors that they chose to stay were the right ones to pick. It couldn't be more 2020. I feel like it's just absolutely perfect. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope it was somewhat fun to watch. I hope that it was helpful. If you had any questions about anything, I will try to leave information in the description. I haven't done like a review in a while, so that's why I'm like, I feel so rusty, like I'm forgetting things and almost like I'm a salesman for the brand. I am not. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I just, All right, well, I thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I will see you at my next video. Bye! Makeup Geek has their own, I'm gonna put these so they're pushed all the way in so it's aesthetically pleasing because it's driving me bananas. Dug my fingernail in.
Bye.
Sorry, I don't know what I was saying and I forgot to shut off the camera during that entire phone call. Also, I do have a code with Makeup Geek. My orange, damn it. Okay, and I'm going to also put a little bit of Makeup Geek, congratulations on your Rebrand.